Are you ready for the hardest sports show on the market? It's called The Timeout. Sundays on the ZNet Television Network. In our first show, 4 decades of sports in the country.
Also, an Abaco teen dies in the country's first traffic fatality of the year. And how does central banks relax on mortgage lending stipulations impact new borrowers? The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, Grand Bahama is set to become the pioneering hub for innovation and sustainable development in the Bahamas. Tonight, the Minister for Grand Bahama announces the new incubator project aimed at nurturing entrepreneurial ventures and promoting sustainability. Aja Kwan reports.
Mall Drive is the future home of the new incubator project announced by the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, set to revolutionize business development and sustainability here on the island.
With this incubator that's being developed, we're going to ensure that it focuses on sustainability, but also focuses on business development.
It is going to be a space where entrepreneurial dreams will take off and sustainability meets innovation. According to the Grand Bahama Minister, the hub will include businesses within the financial sector to assist aspiring entrepreneurs with funding.
You'll have all the SPDCs and the Bahamas Development Bank and everyone that gives grants and also other banks.
And then there will be specialized areas to guide entrepreneurs through the intricate process of licensing their businesses the right way.
Inland revenue, GBPA licensing, all in one place that you can get information.
The hub will also include marketing and branding while providing areas for those in the creative space.
You could have, the photographers and the graphic designers and the web developers in this space.
Minister Moxie standing firm on the government's unwavering commitment to impacting lives through initiatives that foster economic empowerment, environmental stewardship, and sustainable progress.
We're focused on impacting lives. We're a government for the people, and we want to see how we're able to empower our people, because a lot is going to be happening on this island, and our people have to be lifted as everything else happens. They have to be a part of it, and so we want them to get those business ideas going, get the plans going.
The incubator will integrate Innovate 242 into its framework, where Minister Moxie sits as the chair. Innovate 242, designed to position the Bahamas as a center for innovation in the Caribbean, will converge with the sustainability aspect of the incubator. Minister Moxie expresses her vision for Grand Bahama to emerge as the epicenter for sustainable practices within the country.
We've been around the world partnering with other tech hubs who are going to become a part of Innovate 242. And so that's going to assist us in developing and ensuring that the Bahamas does become the center for innovation.
Now, Grand Bahama will inaugurate this incubator project, being the first among 3 islands, including Exuma and New Providence, to implement this transformative initiative. The chosen site for this project will be located right here on Mall Drive, utilizing an existing building. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Quant.
Thanks, Aja. Well, this week, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini stepped into his new role as the Parliamentary Secretary for the Ministry of Grand Bahama. Upon assuming office, the newly appointed official unveiled a series of plans aimed at bolstering the work at the ministry and at driving the island's growth and advancement. We have more details in this report.
Are you ready to hit the ground running?
Kingsley Smith, in his new role, is wasting no time in getting to work. On his first day in office, he has initiated plans to hold meetings with officials from the Disaster Reconstruction Authority and Urban Renewal. These meetings aim to strengthen and enhance their ongoing efforts and bring relief.
Some of the most impact you can have is through urban renewal and DRA, disaster recovery. And so we're going to meet with those agencies to see how best we can continue what was started with the recovery of persons who was affected by those hurricanes. And so that's one of the immediate needs.
While focusing on aiding in the reconstruction and repairing of homes, he also shares that he is committed to fulfilling promises made to the residents of his constituency.
The opening of the junior school in Holmes Rock, that is an immediate concern. Recently, you see, we would have opened the Obadiah Wilsham complex in 8 Mile Rock, and to ensure that those offices are fully staffed to meet the needs of those who need the services in the West Grand Bahama, especially being 8 Mile Rock being the largest settlement in the Bahamas.
Underscoring his commitment to advancing the objectives of the Ministry of Grand Bahama, Smith asserts that the ministry will play an even more substantial role in positively impacting the lives of the island's residents.
Sometimes people take for granted that what she have already done, because sometimes a lot of persons sometimes don't follow what is happening. But I could say that a lot of work has been done, needs to be done, and will be done. And so we just ask, the residents to follow and to understand what is happening, all right, and be encouraged and know that this government, the New Day government, is fully committed in restoring Grand Bahama.
In other news, the central bank, being an agency that assists in regulating the economy, is now relaxing the need for borrowers to take out mortgage indemnity when applying for a mortgage. Since the announcement that is set to take effect January 1st, some residents have mixed views on the decision. Some indicate that this could increase the demand of home ownership, while others are holding on to a wait-and-see position. Financial advisor Roger Roll and realtor Donna Lang-Jones breaks down exactly what this means. Shalanda Thompson-Everett reports.
A homeowner has a mortgage requirement of, say, $10,000. The bank requires that they pay 50% of that, which is $5,000, and then the balance of $5,000 can then be sorted through an insurance company that qualifies and secures the balance of the $5,000, and the mortgage. The person that's holding the mortgage will then provide a premium to the insurance company for far less than the $5,000. So it in effect saves them from coming up with $10,000.
President of Rags to Riches consulting company Roger Roll breaking down the details of central bank's new announcement regarding the relaxation of insurance stipulations when applying for a mortgage. The financial consultant explains that the regulator has announced the move to eliminate the need for borrowers to take out mortgage indemnity insurance to qualify for a down payment of less than 15%.
Most of the lending institutions spend the majority of their evaluation. I think they focus most of it on job security. What type of job do you have? If you have a part-time job, you have a government job, you have a job dealing with security, or maybe working for the quasi-government corporations. It's not a game changer. However, it still is something that would bode well for boosting the economy in some way, shape, or form.
Now, Roll continues that although the stipulations are relaxed, potential borrowers should minutely pay attention to what possible new requirements are ahead. He adds that central bank is still focusing on the debt-equity ratio, and that is something to not take lightly. But when highlighting the trickle-down effect, he says this makes it noteworthy.
Building homes will be one of the spin-offs, and therefore construction companies should see some benefit.
Partner and broker of Keys Bahamas Realty, Donna Lang-Jones, believes that the new decision is good news for real estate, as it will birth the encouragement of persons coming forth to invest in a new home.
in the market. There's going to be a boost in the market. We'll have more persons looking to buy, more persons looking to view. So all of the realtors should be reaching out to their clients right now and letting them know about this relaxation and what's available for them.
Line concludes that since Dorian, many residents face challenges, especially first-time buyers and those that lost their homes during the storm. But now, she says they have a chance to start over.
We have a lot of the mothers, the fathers, single fathers who's wanted to purchase in the past, just could not purchase. And now, once they have the savings put away, this is an exceptional time for them now to go ahead and purchase a property.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson Everest.
Well, some sad news to report tonight. A traffic accident claiming the life of a 17-year-old boy in North Abaco. It is reported as the first traffic fatality of the year in the country. According to police, 17-year-old Jamarion Heald of Mount Hope, Abaco, was traveling on SC Boodle Highway when he lost control of a white Honda Fit. Reports indicate that the vehicle collided into bushes situated on the north side of the highway, 20 to 30 feet away from the road. EMS was called to the scene where a medical examiner pronounced him dead. The victim's aunt, Charmaine Hart, was on the scene.
Well, we got a call saying that it was an accident on the highway in Treasure, but we didn't know where it was until we found it from another officer where the accident was, and so we got ourselves prepared and we came to the scene, and then we found out that he has passed.
Hart says that Heald's mother was out of town during the accident and says she had to convey the unfortunate news to them via telephone.
His mom, she went to Freeport to give blood for her uncle, so that was a shocker for her hearing that. And his grandmother, she just left on Monday to go back to Inagua.
Now, according to reports, Heald just graduated from SC Boodle Highway School last year and was expected to turn 18 May 31st of this year. He was the only person in the vehicle when the accident occurred. Well, still from police on Abaco, a 63-year-old American visitor is in police custody on that northern island after being found in possession of dangerous drugs. The incident taking place on Thursday, January 4th, 2024. Preliminary reports indicate that while at the Leonard Thompson International Airport, officers acting on information discovered a quantity of suspected marijuana, which resulted in the tourist being arrested. The estimated weight value of the drugs currently unknown at this time. However, the matter remains under active investigation. Well, in their aim and commitment to reducing criminal activity on Grand Bahama, officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit and Anti-Gang and Firearms Unit conducted a joint operation, Stealth, on Thursday, January 4th, 2024. The operation yielded great results with the areas of several arrests of several individuals and the seizure of suspected marijuana. According to preliminary reports, it was shortly after 6 p.m. when officers proceeded to the residence in Pinedale, 8 Mile Rock, where they executed a search warrant. During the search, a large quantity of suspected marijuana was discovered, resulting in the arrest of 3 males, ages 63, 36, 24, and a 22-year-old female. The estimated weight and value of the drugs is currently unknown at this time. However, this matter remains under active investigations. Well, 0 murders for 2023 on the island of Grand Bahama. That, according to the Royal Bahamas Police Force Liaison Superintendent Stephen Roll. And despite 0 cases, Roll reveals that the island has seen 2 counts of manslaughter that took the lives of Shivago Harvey and Nigel Mills. While there may be less crime as compared to 2022, founder of Reach Out Youth Organization Dudley Said is sharing the importance of also addressing gang violence, which often contributes to crime and criminality. Jolanda Thompson Everest reports.
Violence in the Bahamas has become a social issue, says founder of Reach Out Youth Organization Dudley Said expounding on the 2023 murder count for the year. According to police, Grand Bahama recorded 2 manslaughter cases and 0 counts of murder. The act of murder is when a person is charged with the intent of taking the life of a human being, while manslaughter is to commit a crime without deliberately taking someone's life. Said presumes that 2023 was a good year compared to 2022, 2022 when the island recorded 12 counts of murder during that period, said expressing that while the numbers may be low for now, the country is still faced with gang affiliations and that parents ought to take a closer look at who their kids are keeping company with.
What I can say with Grand Bahama, we're not there yet, but what we have, that nobody wants to talk about pretty much is gangs. We have gangs in high school, but if we don't put a handle on it, we could get like Nassau.
But it doesn't stop there. He says that gang activity has been at a minimum for a while, but he will not allow that to discourage him from his usual counseling sessions. He adds that he has made it a priority to visit schools and encourage the young men to stay away from violence.
I think what happened is we don't want the truth. When you share it, people saying, hey, you shouldn't be saying it. I know we don't want to face reality. I think signs, and I always say, what this is. It's a gang sign. That's primary school now. It's in the school system. I face it or not. And like I said, what everyone's trying to do is saying, leave it alone. Let's don't talk about it, but it's here.
Sayed concludes that gang have become the new trend in the country and believes that this could be the reason crime is an ongoing issue. He believes that addressing this will result in lower crime rates, including murder.
Only advice, always, young adults or teenagers, we don't say it enough. We always talking down to the young male. But I think we need to continue to be positive. It's very rare when I was growing up that you hear that you're going to make very rare teachers need to find a way to encourage the young kids because it starts from the schools.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
And when we come back, a musical sensation, Sherrod Taylor and the legendary Veronica Bishop teaming up for a new hit single. We have the details on the release when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Every Sunday from noon until 4 p.m., join us at Portobello's Restaurant at the Grand Lucayan for a delicious full buffet spread. Call 373-1333 for more information.
With over 30 years of service with integrity, services in Abaco, New Providence, and Grand Bahama, providing modern and state-of-the-art equipment, specializing in the maintenance and operation of waste treatment plants, waste oil movement, sludge extraction, tank cleaning, elite portable toilets, and hand wash stations. We are efficient, reliable, and cutting edge. We are B&B Galaxy.
Pelicans on the Beach presents Fish Fry and Bonfire, January 10th, starting at 1 p.m. Pelican Point East, Grand Bahama. It's a fun-filled event for the family, now accepting card payments.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience and success, from local politics to cultural events. We have it covered. We have Aja coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. His latest rendering touches up on the ups and downs of relationships. Bahamian artist Sherrod Taylor releasing his latest track, Just a Fool, today. The record features singing legend Veronica Bishop, and Taylor says this ballad is one everyone will enjoy. Shane Stubbs has more in this report.
Love. It can be an emotional roller coaster, and Bahamian artist Sherrod Taylor's latest record takes us on that ride. Laid over a catchy Bahamian instrumental along with the legendary voice of Veronica Bishop, Just a Fool is considered a fun love song for the Bahamian public and the world to enjoy.
I wanted it to come out right in time for Valentine's, you know, because Valentine's is a love month, and a lot of people go through the same thing. What's going on in the song, you know? They don't know how to live without each other, but then again, they don't know how to live with each other.
You say I don't know how to treat you right, but you always acting up day and night.
Drawing inspiration from past dating experiences, the writing process wasn't hard at all for the Bahamian talent.
The song talks about, first of all, it talks about love and not feeling that love being reciprocated, right? And so it's important to talk about these things.
In the record, both parties are communicating how they feel about the direction of the relationship, which is one of the standout messages of the song. Communication is key.
A part of the song is a back and forth between me and Veronica where we're actually communicating. So first verse is like they're talking, second verse they're telling their side of the story. The third, the bridge, is a communication part which is important in all relationships. You have to communicate in order to get the outcome that you want.
And working with a Bahamian legend like Bishop, Taylor says she was a gem to work with and definitely added the touch the record needed.
She was a darling. She said, Sherrod, you write the song. If I like it, we can do it. You know, and I write the song, send it to her. She heard it. She was like, Sherrod, this is it. I like it. Let's go. And the rest from that was history.
Relationships can be difficult to navigate, and Taylor hopes this record helps those in need maneuver through that process.
People who are in relationships, they go through things. Music is a way to unpack your mind and process what you're going through. And so when you listen to songs like this, it will definitely help you to process what you're going through and try to fix what you're going through.
The record and music video is now available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, the 2024 Grand Bahama New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade is officially in the books. The Platinum Knights were named winners in the A group category, while Showtime walked away as winners in the B category, placing second in the B division. Was one of the fan favorites, Sting, who participated as a fun group. As tradition, the Sting group would put on a Christmas giveaway for children in the West End community the day after the parade, and this year was no exception. The event took place at the Old Bahama Bay Hotel in the West.
We selected West End. West End is my home, but we selected West End to help with the kids, and they adopted us, and the children, they look forward to this function every year. They were so happy today. They got their gifts and whatever other amenities. They went in the bouncing castle and the slide, and they were happy with what was done.
Group founder Bernard Hanna, who traveled from New Providence just for the parade and the giveaway, says he's more excited to be on Grand Bahama this time around.
We came here for this. This is about our 15th time here in Freeport, and they never won. But we came here with blood in our eyes this time, and finally we came second. We had a good rush, and those who were watching television could recognize that we were in top form dancing.
Your Friday check on sports is next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. The Grand Bahama Secondary School Athletic Association met yesterday to discuss high school sports for the new year. First on the agenda, high school softball.
we had not had a chance to complete the softball championships, so the playoffs and the championships. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing on the next week, Thursday. The junior girls are going to commence for the playoffs, and the senior girls on the Friday. And then next Saturday, we're going to have an all-day, the 13th. We're going to have an all-day jamboree with senior girls and junior girls championships.
High School Basketball League will be in action right away at St. George's Gymnasium next week as well.
Well, as we know, Hugh Campbell is fast approaching. It's in February. So we're going to get the senior boys started so that they can complete their championships before we go into Hugh Campbell. And once we would have completed that, then we're going to start with the other age groups.
The High School Volleyball League finished late last year, but some other plans are in place for more exposure for Northern Bahamas athletes.
We're going to put together an all-star team with the Grand Bahama Volleyball Association, looking at our best players for boys and girls, and hoping that they get an opportunity to make a national team.
Switching gears now in sports, Lonnie Duncan, the multi-talented athlete, is back in the lab training for multiple sports.
Training's been going good. I'm preparing for a triathlon next month. At the same time, I'm preparing for a cycling race in February. But then I'm also trying to prepare for Carifta. So it's all hard to balance out, but I'm getting through it. And then I'm also trying to balance school. So it's all been going good.
Also in sports, Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers will be back on the court tonight. The 19 and 14 Pacers is scheduled to take on the Atlanta Hawks at 7 p.m. at home. And finally in sports, Coach Yo and her Ole Miss Lady Rebels defeated Alabama 55-45 in conference play yesterday to improve to 11-3 on the season. Up next, the Rebels will take on LSU on Sunday at 3 p.m. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Ocean View Retirement Village, retirement at its best, is 20 years young. Professional, compassionate, caring, respectful, purposeful. Describe the experience in our safe, loving environment. The comforts of home with services of a luxury hotel. Our clients live with dignity and grace. Qualified medical personnel on call. Programs include adult daycare, independent and assisted living, therapeutic, convalescent, respite, rehabilitative and hospice care, Alzheimer's care, and health tourism. Mrs. Agatha Thompson and Mrs. Destiny Thompson-Pinder are the mother-daughter umbrella assuring each client a uniquely positive experience. Come luxuriate in these golden years where we celebrate them. Contact us 242-373-4382 or 441-3081. Ocean View Retirement Village. Retirement at its best is 20 years young.
In Grand Bahama, our lamp just got brighter. Introducing Lamp Ultimate. From unlimited urgent care visits.
So we're just going to give you some oxygen.
To unlimited primary care visits.
How can we help today?
From unlimited x-rays to unlimited ultrasounds.
My baby!
And spend no more than $40 on non-specialty medication. Lamp Ultimate is the affordable healthcare plan that you've been dreaming of. And it's only available at Doctors Hospital in Grand Bahama.
When a storm strikes and knocks out power to your home, you may be forced to use a backup energy source such as solar panels or a generator. But do you know about the potential dangers and how to safely use backup energy sources? There's one major risk. It's called backfeed, and it can endanger you, a family member, or someone else, especially a lineman or electrician working at or near your property. Backfeed occurs when power travels from your solar setup or generator back through the utility lines, resulting in them being unknowingly re-energized. Backfeed creates a very dangerous and potentially deadly situation for line workers and the public. To prevent backfeed, generators, whether permanent or portable, should never be plugged into a home's wiring or directly to the circuit breaker panel. The best way to avoid backfeed is by installing a transfer switch. Preventing backfeed could save a life.
8:10 a.m. The Light. Coffee and conversation with me, Gigi. Waking you up each day. The aim is to inspire you. The aim is to encourage you. It's a joy to come here each and every morning. I don't consider this work at all. I haven't worked a day in my life. That's how much I enjoy it.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Ethelyn Major turns 91 years young today. You are our Facebook friend today. We hope you are enjoying your special day. Also, a special happy birthday to legendary musician Wilfred Solomon. We thank you for your contributions to this country and hope you are enjoying yourself as well on your birthday. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. And remember, the Dolphins play on Sunday. Have a good weekend.
Tonight, the national report, the murder count climbs up by 1. Inching closer to majority rule day, Junkanoo on Broadway, and in sports, high school basketball season begins. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. Thanks so much for tuning in. Investigations continue into the 5th homicide for the year. Lloyd Allen is standing by in the Miller Heights community, where reports indicate that an altercation happened between 2 men near a community park. Good evening, Lloyd. What's the latest?
Well, good evening, LaDawn, and good evening, Bahamas. Right now, we're on the Millers Heights Community Park, where police reported just after 12 early Friday morning that an altercation between 2 men ended fatally. Now, of course, as investigations continue, ZNS News right now on the park, and we're speaking with the family of the victim right now. The victim is identified as 50-year-old Darrell Ferguson. His eldest brother, Leonard Johnson, is standing here with us. Again, as investigations continue, what can you tell us about last night?
Oh, last night, me and him didn't get out all night last night till around 8:30. I dropped him home. You know, he's a nice person and everything. But luckily, when he get that inflow to drinking, he like a different person.
Now, of course, this is a significant blow to your family early in 2024. How will you move forward from this?
Oh, that's a hard cookie to swallow. Because, you know, only God help us right now.
Now, also here with us are his brother and sister. What can you tell us about your brother, Darrell?
Darrell, my favorite brother. He's very lovable. Really, he is really lovable. Everybody who comes in contact with him would know that he's a lovable person. They fall in love with him. But only the intoxication, his mouth is really loud. That's his weapon, his mouth. But other than that, he's a sweet person.
I pretty much say he is harmless, like my sister and brother would have pointed out. But when he do drink, he's a totally different individual. I am concerned about how persons this happened as a result of battery, for the best of my knowledge. He was involved in altercation, trying to recover his stolen battery. And, well, his life ended. And it is sad, but it is sad. That's the best I could give you right now. I can't describe nothing.
Now, of course, as investigations continue into this latest homicide, police also now adding this to the murder count for the year, which now accounts to 5 persons, the latest 2 occurring on Wednesday in the Prince Charles Drive area. Of course, reporting here from the Millers Heights Community Park for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. LaDawn?
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. A North Abaco family in mourning tonight following the death of a teenage boy in a Thursday night car crash on that island. 18-year-old Mount Hope resident Jamarion Heald is the victim of the country's latest traffic fatality, a single-car collision taking place on the SC Boodle Highway just north of Treasure Key. In a video posted to social media, emergency responders can be seen working the area where a white Honda Fit sits in bushes beyond the road, yellow caution tape cordoning off the scene. Heald was a recent high school graduate matriculating from the SC Boodle Secondary High School just back in June of 2023. Family, friends, and loved ones remembering Heald on social media as a funny soul with a promising future. A serious traffic accident Friday evening injuring a pedestrian while causing a major traffic buildup to motorists in the Carmichael and Bacardi Road area. Now, according to reports, the victim was traveling across Carmichael Road when he was struck by a vehicle heading west. Chief Superintendent of the Traffic Division, David Lockhart, shares more details on this latest incident, which occurred around 3.
The officers would have met EMS personnel here, rendering medical attention to the adult male. Our initial information is that the adult male was traveling from the southern side of Carmichael Road headed towards the north side when there was a collision between he and a dark-colored note that was traveling west on Carmichael Road. The exact cause or reason for this collision is unknown at this time. We can tell you that the male was transported to hospital and his condition is unknown at hospital at this time, but when he left, he was in serious condition.
Police are looking into attempted suicide involving a man at a home in the Coconut Grove community. Around 9 last evening, police were notified that a 26-year-old man had ingested a large amount of over-the-counter tablets at his home. He was taken to hospital in a private vehicle for medical attention and evaluation. Investigations continue. National Security Consultant Dr. Carlos Reed is firing back at opposition leader Michael Pintard, who recently called the role of such consultants into question amidst the recent spike in crime. Corvell Python reports that Dr. Reed isn't prepared to stay silent.
Though opposition leader Michael Pintard never called them by name, there's little doubt who he meant by those so-called, quote, jokey consultants hired to help fight crime. So today, one of those national security consultants, Dr. Carlos Reed, took direct aim at the F&M leader.
I believe that we need to ask Mr. Pintard to be able to define that, so at least I could know, because I'm being, my phone is being busted off with people asking me, and if anybody would know my work is Pintard.
In interviews this week following a spate of recent murders, Mr. Pintard as well as other senior F&Ms have hit out at the Davis administration over the crime issue. They've claimed the government's in over its head and doesn't have any solutions. Pintard, meantime, has suggested meeting with gang leaders as a solution. However, Carlos Reed says that's not a new idea either.
We've been down in prison, and the prison could confirm this, that we've been down there. We have spoken to persons who are allegedly involved in gangs, persons who are being sentenced to murder. We have met with persons in different communities. We have met with persons that are influential in just about every community in this country.
Apart from his appointment as a consultant in the Ministry of National Security, Dr. Reed has worked extensively in community outreach, counseling, mentoring, and activism. In addition to that, he also heads the Hope Center Ministries. His first stint as a consultant came in 2012 when the then PLP government appointed him and the Violent Disruptors program was initiated. This program, Reed says, was spawning positive results as it took young men involved in criminality off the streets and steered them toward productivity. The program was discontinued after administrations changed.
600 plus murders later, where we're calling for the same thing, the opposition is calling for the same thing that we did way back then, make some sense.
He cautions that politicizing crime makes no sense, nor does it do any good for the public.
No government in the world could solve crime. Let me say that again. No government in this world could solve crime. It's us, the people, when we bring our collective talents, our collective resources, with a hope of being able to rescue some of our young brothers and young sisters who are dying in our streets. Maybe we could do more.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pfeiffer.
Great story there, Corvell. Well, with 5 murders in 5 days, President of Families of All Murdered, Candy Gibson, says the hearts of suspects are seemingly waxed cold. While commenting on the Ministry of National Security's plans to implement the National Youth Service as a deterrent to crime, Gibson feels that may not be the answer. She feels the police must build a better relationship with members of the public to be fully informed on crimes before and when they happen.
We can put as many trucks as we want put out there, as many police cars as we want put out there. But if the people behind those vehicles, behind those desks, ain't taking adhere to what the intel on the street saying, we still lost because intel is out there. You could hear a name call. You know, you could hear who could be next. You could hear who they're looking for. And with this information, what are we doing with this information? We just keep it and wait till they become a statistic?
Gibson believes that employment is key in getting young men off the streets and away from a life of crime.
People say, okay, we can't form treaties. Okay, we have boats come from Haiti every other day. We have other boats they intercept. But these young men, you get bail, okay? He says you get bail, you're part of this gang, you go to Andres, you go fish. You part of this gang, you go Long Island and go fish. You part of it, by them doing the state bringing in, making money and bringing in revenue to the country. So we have to find other alternatives. Them being on land, ain't preserving them, put them out sea. Let them go work, let them become fishermen.
And still to come, Majority Rule Day discussed at the National Art Gallery, plus our feature story of the night, Junkanoo in Paradise. Right after our final outlook on weather, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat. Unlike the no-gets, at KFC, we hand bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Fidelity,
we're good for you.
The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home.
The POP Conference returns January 10th through 14th with special guest speakers Bishop Lambert Gates from Indiana, Indianapolis. Bishop Rudolph McKissick from Jacksonville, Florida. Pastor Tolan Morgan from Detroit, Michigan. from Washington, D.C., Minister Stephen Hurd. Special guest artists include Miranda Curtis, Melvin Crispell III, Leandria Johnson, and our special guest for a midnight pop-up, Todd Galbraith and Ty Trebet. Pop Conference 2024. See you there.
The central bank now relaxing its lending rules as mortgage indemnity insurance is no longer a requirement. Shalanda Thompson-Everest talks to a financial advisor and a realtor who explains what this all means.
A homeowner has a mortgage requirement of, say, $10,000. The bank requires that they pay 50% of that, which is $5,000, and then the balance of $5,000 can then be sorted through an insurance company that qualifies and secures the balance of the $5,000, and the person that's holding the mortgage will then provide a premium to the insurance company for far less than the $5,000. So it in effect saves them from coming up with $10,000.
President of Rags to Riches Consulting Company Roger Roll breaking down the details of central bank's new announcement regarding the relaxation of insurance stipulations when applying for a mortgage. The financial consultant explains that the regulator has announced a move to eliminate the need for borrowers to take out mortgage indemnity insurance to qualify for a down payment of less than 15%.
Most of the lending institutions spend the majority of their evaluation. I think they focus most of it on job security. What type of job do you have? If you have a part-time job, you have a government job, you have a job dealing with security, or maybe working for the quasi-government corporations. It's not a game changer. However, it still is something that would bode well for boosting the economy in some way, shape, or form.
Now, Roll continues that although the stipulations are relaxed, potential borrowers should minutely pay attention to what possible new requirements are ahead. He adds that central bank is still focusing on the debt-equity ratio, and that is something to not take lightly. But when highlighting the trickle-down effect, he says this makes it noteworthy.
Building homes will be one of the spin-offs, and therefore construction companies should see some benefit.
Partner and broker of Keys Bahamas Realty, Donna Lang Jones, believes that the new decision is good news for real estate, as it will birth the encouragement of persons coming forth to invest in a new home.
In the market, there's going to be a boost in the market. We'll have more persons looking to buy, more persons looking to view. So all of the realtors should be reaching out to their clients right now and letting them know about this relaxation and what's available for them.
Lang concludes that since Dorian, many residents face challenges, especially first-time buyers and those that lost their homes during the storm. But now, she says they have a chance to start over.
We have a lot of the mothers, the fathers, single mothers, single fathers who's wanted to purchase in the past, just could not purchase. And now, once they have the savings put away, this is an exceptional time for them now to go ahead and purchase a property.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
A project aimed at nurturing entrepreneurial ventures is set for the nation's second city. The Grand Bahama minister spoke to Azure Quant about the initiative.
Mall Drive is the future home of the new incubator project announced by the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, set to revolutionize business development and sustainability here on the island.
With this incubator that's being developed, we're going to ensure that it focuses on sustainability, but also focuses on business development.
It is going to be a space where entrepreneurial dreams will take off and sustainability meets innovation. According to the Grand Bahama Minister, the hub will include businesses within the financial sector to assist aspiring entrepreneurs with funding.
You'll have all the SPDCs and the Bahamas Development Bank and everyone that gives grants, and also other banks.
And then there will be specialized areas to guide entrepreneurs through the intricate process of licensing their businesses the right way.
Inland revenue, GBPA licensing, all in one place that you can get information.
The hub will also include marketing and branding while providing areas for those in the creative space.
You could have, the photographers and the graphic designers and the web developers in this space.
Minister Moxey standing firm on the government's unwavering commitment to impacting lives through initiatives that foster economic empowerment, environmental stewardship, and sustainable progress.
We're focused on impacting lives. We're a government for the people, and we want to see how we're able to empower our people, because a lot is going to be happening on this island, and our people have to be lifted as everything else happens. They have to be a part of it, and so we want them to get those business ideas going, get the plans going.
The incubator will integrate Innovate 242 into its framework, where Minister Moxey sits as the chair. Innovate 242, designed to position the Bahamas as a center for innovation in the Caribbean, will converge with the sustainability aspect of the incubator. Minister Moxey expresses her vision for Grand Bahama to emerge as the epicenter for sustainable practices within the country.
We've been around the world partnering with other tech hubs who are going to become a part of Innovate 242. And so that's going to assist us in developing and ensuring that the Bahamas does become this center for innovation.
Now, Grand Bahama will inaugurate this incubator project, being the first among 3 islands, including Exuma and New Providence, to implement this transformative initiative. The chosen site for this project will be located right here on Mall Drive, utilizing an existing building. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Azure Quant.
The Ministry for Grand Bahama addressing Parliamentary Secretary Kingsley Smith's hospital visit today. In a release, the ministry said Smith experienced a momentary bout of lightheadedness, and as a precautionary measure was promptly taken to the Rand Memorial Hospital for evaluation and treatment. Smith is said to be in good spirits and was set to be discharged. We continue our series tonight on the road to majority rule. It was January 10th, 1967, when the Progressive Liberal Party defeated the minority United Bahamian Party. Majority rule led to the creation of nation-building institutions which advanced. The 5-term Member of Parliament for Angliston reflects on the past and highlights the hope and fears for the future. Here's Vaughn Aubrey.
We are building on that 67 foundation, which opened the windows to the realization of potential of our young people. And so the rest is history.
And the story of majority rule continues. The Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, whose father, the Honorable Arthur Hannah, served as Deputy Prime Minister from 1967 to 1984 under Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Pinling. He embodied the philosophy of the Progressive Liberal Party of upliftment of ordinary Bahamians through creating a large middle class. The Angliston MP's father was the first Minister of Education who highlighted the PLP majority rule government's priorities.
First thing was education. It was access to scholarships. It was creating greater access through the building of schools. You only had one high school in Nassau. I mean, it was just one, Government High, and you had to pay. And that was an elitist school. And then you had the private ones. But the public, there were no public high schools. So the universal access to education, it was huge. It was transformative. Universal access to healthcare, clinics built everywhere to promote. I don't know if there used to be a saying around those years, the health of a nation is the wealth of a nation, and this is so true.
Other national institutions created include the Central Bank, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and perhaps most important, the Social Safety Nets, the National Insurance Board, and the Ministry of Social Service. Hannah Martin noted that the 1967 majority rule government overcame many challenges, including fear, intimidation, and numerous glass ceilings.
In pre-67, it had its own unique challenges. It was not an easy time, and it was a difficult time, in fact. And so, there was a stepping up to the plate of a people to ensure that the objectives and goals were realized for a better way.
All achievements were undergirded by the advancement of Bahamians through education. Today, there are 4 Bahamian Rhodes Scholars.
I don't care if no one say we have done extremely well. When you consider just 50 years ago, you were not even, going to university was out of the question. And to produce Rhodes Scholars in the numbers and pace that we've done in the Bahamas, and just brilliant young people, speaks volumes.
Proud of the accomplishments, Hannah Martin says Bahamians must guard our heritage, and that includes our hospitality and cultural norms of mutual respect.
It's a sort of slackening of the sort of things that we valued before, how we raise our children, even the simple things like saying good morning, thank you. It seems small, but it does engender a sense of respect and a continuing gratitude as you move through the world. These are important seeds to plant in the spirits of young people, and I think that has fallen away to some extent socially. So we need to, as a people, consider these matters when we raise our children, because they're in their early manifestations, they're ready to be formed. So how you form them is how they're going to turn out.
And despite headwinds, Hannah Martin remains upbeat.
I am very optimistic about this country because God has been good to us. I think that we have the raw material, which is our people, which can do anything, anywhere, anyhow, once we do it correctly, and we all have to take responsibility in it. But I am hopeful, I am optimistic, and I am actually excited about what I think the future can hold for our people.
That means all hands on deck. For the Bahamas Tonight, I am Vaughn Aubrey.
Scores of Bahamians reflecting on Majority Rule Day, which is considered the most pivotal event in Bahamian history. During a town hall meeting at the National Art Gallery on Thursday, panelist and adjunct lecturer of political science at the University of Bahamas, Keisha Ellis, noted the importance of Bahamians knowing their history.
This evening, we're talking about the legality behind democracy and the systems and the practices in place, right? But one thing we always need to remember and hold firm to is the fact that democracy is about the people, right? And democracy, is not just about voting. It's not just about voting and then sitting back, right? It's about actually taking a stand for what you believe in, actually, living by what you claim to believe in, right? And making sure that your actions follow what it is that you're claiming to believe in, right? So when we talk about majority rule, and everything that it took to get to that movement, everything that came after it, right? We're really talking about the spirit of our people, right? The spirit of us and the strength that it really took to push that movement forward.
Ellis is encouraging Bahamians to become more engaged in the democratic process.
In the spirit of democracy, I would really like to put the onus back on the people, right? And what is it that we are expecting of the government, right? And how much do we actually value our vote, right? In our system of democracy, the way we participate, right, officially, is that one vote for a member of parliament, right, every election. After that, we have very, very limited immediate access, right, to the decisions that are made. So that vote should not be taken lightly.
We still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, high school basketball back underway. Full highlights of yesterday's games coming up in just a moment.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Allie and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Allie dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
Health is the greatest gift. That's
That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
The school policing program is getting high praises since its relaunch, but all hands must remain on deck to ensure it continues to reap positive results. Cleopatra Murphy reports.
Police and education officials are looking at new strategies to further enhance security on school campuses and stifle violence before it becomes a societal problem. Officer in charge of the school policing program, Assistant Commissioner of Police Chaswell Hanna, says Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando has created a new school policing support unit that will, among other things, identify students deemed most at risk to prevent them from becoming future criminals or victims of crime.
This unit will be responsible for following up on investigations on incidents that occur in school. We have high school dropouts, so this team is going to be working closely with the attendants or truancy officers to find where these students are. From time to time, you see in the media runaways. In fact, yesterday, one of the recent runaways was located by this new unit. And this unit is also going to be responsible for facilitating and executing programs, diversion programs like the Second Chance.
An increase in school violence and the stabbing of an AF Adderley student in 2022 led to the return of officers on school campuses. There are now just under 60 school resource officers in about 15 schools in the country, and Hannah believes their return has led to safer campuses.
We like what we see, and we're going to build on that and continue to improve school safety.
Principal of C.H. Reeves Junior High School, Sterling McPhee, believes they are not just empty words, having personally seen the transformation and its impact on the school's campus. He admits prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, many schools had their issues, and C.H. Reeves was no different.
School is really just a microcosm of the community, and so we're trying to teach them for life. And so we want them to understand that we want you to be law-abiding citizens or rule-keeping citizens when you're here at school, but when you get into the community, the very same principle apply. And so I do believe that police presence on campus has added to that. And here at C.H. Reeves, we've seen that growth and development in the overall behavior of our students.
During a school safety meeting with school resource officers and other stakeholders this week, Hannah says officials discussed a number of safety concerns that need to be addressed.
One of them being the parents coming on campus. I think I spoke about that. So we thrashed out some of the issues that we want to improve upon moving forward. We still have some more issues to deal with, so it's very important to have that communication between the school administrators and the SROs to make this program what it needs to be.
Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin, adds that school resource officers will also work with educational officials to address truancy.
We're working together to, where you see children milling about during school hours, in front of commercial establishments, food stores, and that's not going to be permitted. We are going to ensure that during school hours they're in school. It's going to be a very disciplined, collective environment out there. Children need to be in school.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Building on academics is one of the areas of focus for principal of C.H. Reeves Junior High School, Sterling McPhee, in 2024. Improvements in national exams have already begun, and he wants to see that sustained in the new year.
We do certainly want to improve in our BJC results. There was an improvement. We had 50% of our students that would have met the requirement, the 4 BJC requirements. We want to take that up at least by 5% to increase that. We've seen an overall behavior improvement in our overall behavior, and we're looking to even step up on that as well. We are the defending junior high school GSSSA champions sports, and we're looking to maintain that. I know that there are many that's coming for us, but we're ready for them.
McPhee adds that he wants to ensure the school continues to grow as a community.
And I want to say thank you to the teachers here, hardworking, committed, dedicated teachers, administrative team. It's all a part of a team, and I think we are moving forward as we look into 2024.
One Bahama beauty queen hanging up her sash and crown for good this evening. That's former Miss Bahamas Universe Melissa Ingram, formally resigning from her post representing the country in a statement posted to Instagram. Speaking on the decision to end her reign, Ingram says she made the decision to step away following a series of disappointing experiences and, quote, less than adequate support received during her 6-month reign. Melissa was crowned Miss Bahamas Universe back in July of 2023 and represented the Bahamas at the Miss Universe pageant in El Salvador back in November of last year. Ingram's statement went on to explain that she encountered issues such as not having a stage gown or the opportunity to even try on a national costume before showtime. She says that while her contract promised training, wardrobe, and event management, those are things ultimately she never received. Ingram ended by explaining she was grateful to have the opportunity to represent her country and will turn her focus now to her career in advocating for climate change. Meantime, officials of the Miss Universe Bahamas organization short on their response, telling ZNS News that they continue to wish the former queen all the best.
On behalf of the Miss Bahamas Universe organization, we would like to publicly thank the former queen for her role on the international stage, and now welcome Miss Taja Hudson, who will be serving as Miss Bahamas Universe for the remainder of this pageant season. As we continue to be the national pageant of the Bahamas, we would like to thank the Bahamian people for their endless support and love toward the organization over the years.
We may be done with Junkanoo, but naturally there's still a lot to talk about it, and not all of it has to do with competition. Carvel Python reports on reaction from spectators who were left feeling a little left out, but are now having their say.
We're slowly coming down from that Junkanoo high, but not before we deal with yet another pesky issue. And it seems it's a subject just about everybody on social media wanted to weigh in on. Tajero Hudson of ZNS Digital has been writing about spectators in those costly bleacher seats whose views were obstructed by, well, just about everybody else.
A lot of people are complaining about the fact that we pay for these seats for Junkanoo, and then our view is impeded by different personnel who are either working the parade or recording the parade or whatever they're doing. I pay for these seats and I can't see the parade that I paid for.
The reactions to Tajero's piece have been pretty strong.
All the blue vests were not necessary. Those people were socializing for the most part. I suggest we have stations set up along the route for judges, press, photographers, etc. on both sides every few feet.
No, the readers aren't holding back.
Persons do not need to walk through the group to judge.
Their harshest attack seems to be on the police. Were they too much?
The police can patrol behind the bleachers. That is where the trouble will be.
Yet another.
All of these people are not necessary. 50 police officers walking down the road while the Junkanoo groups are coming. There are people standing up with no purpose. I think there is a gray area. I think there is a silver lining. I think there is somewhere in the middle that we can get to. It's just a conversation about what that is and how we can get there.
Who knew this topic would strike up such a conversation? And that conversation is ongoing, so be sure to visit our ZNS social media pages. In the meantime, here's something that might possibly work, whether you're on the bleachers or on the ground. Practicing a little common courtesy won't hurt at all. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carvel Python. In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Here's to more laughs, good times, and the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Best Value Cornflakes, 18-ounce, $2.49. Distinction Evaporated Milk, 14-ounce, $1.19. Olivia Cooking Oil, 48-ounce, $5.89. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 99 cents per pound. Russet potatoes, 5 pounds, $3.99. Jenny O turkey starting at $27 and large smoked hams starting at $23 at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors for protection. wax and just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
This week, the new Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini laid out his plans to drive the island's growth and advancement during his tenure. Ramiko Knowles caught up with him to find out what those plans are.
Are you ready to hit the ground running?
Kingsley Smith, in his new role, is wasting no time in getting to work. On his first day in office, he has initiated plans to hold meetings with officials from the Disaster Reconstruction Authority and Urban Renewal. These meetings aim to strengthen and enhance their ongoing efforts and bring relief.
Some of the most impact you can have is through urban renewal and DRA, disaster recovery. And so we're going to meet with those agencies to see how best we can continue what was started with the recovery of persons who was affected by those hurricanes. And so that's one of the immediate needs.
While focusing on aiding in the reconstruction and repairing of homes, he also shares that he is committed to fulfilling promises made to the residents of his constituency.
The opening of the junior school in Holmes Rock, that is an immediate concern. Recently, you see, we would have opened the Obadiah Bushcombe complex in 8 Mile Rock, and to ensure that those offices are fully staffed to meet the needs of those who need the services in the West Grand Bahama, especially being 8 Mile Rock being the largest settlement in the Bahamas.
Underscoring his commitment to advancing the objectives of the Ministry of Grand Bahama, Smith asserts that the ministry will play an even more substantial role in positively impacting the lives of the island's residents.
Sometimes people take for granted that what she have already done, because sometimes a lot of persons sometimes don't follow what is happening. But I could say that a lot of work has been done, needs to be done, and will be done. And so we just ask, the residents to follow and to understand what is happening, all right, and be encouraged and know that this government, the New Day government, is fully committed in restoring Grand Bahama.
Just Fool Today is the latest track by Bahamian sensation Sherrod Taylor featuring Veronica Bishop. Here's Shane Stubbs.
Love. It can be an emotional roller coaster, and Bahamian artist Sherrod Taylor's latest record takes us on that ride. Laid over a catchy Bahamian instrumental along with the legendary voice of Veronica Bishop, Just a Fool is considered a fun love song for the Bahamian public and the world to enjoy.
I wanted it to come out right in time for Valentine's, because Valentine's is a love month, and a lot of people go through the same thing. What's going on in the song, they don't know how to live without each other, but then again, they don't know how to live with each other.
You say I don't know how to treat you right, but you always acting up day and night.
Drawing inspiration from past dating experiences, the writing process wasn't hard at all for the Bahamian talent.
The song talks about, first of all, it talks about love and not feeling that love being reciprocated, right? And so it's important to talk about these things.
In the record, both parties are communicating how they feel about the direction of the relationship, which is one of the standout messages of the song. Communication is key.
A part of the song is a back and forth between me and Veronica where we're actually communicating. So first verse is like they're talking, second verse they're telling their side of the story. The bridge is a communication part which is important in all relationships. You have to communicate in order to get the outcome that you want.
And working with a Bahamian legend like Bishop, Taylor says she was a gem to work with and definitely added the touch the record needed.
She was a darling. She said, Sherrod, you write the song. If I like it, we can do it. And I write the song, send it to her. She heard it. She was like, Sherrod, this is it. I like it. Let's go. And the rest from that was history.
Relationships can be difficult to navigate, and Taylor hopes this record helps those in need maneuver through that process.
People who are in relationships, they go through things. Music is a way to unpack your mind and process what you're going through. And so when you listen to songs like this, it will definitely help you to process what you're going through and try to fix what you're going through.
The record and music video is now available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks a lot, Shane. And it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, LaDawn. We have mostly clear skies this evening. Temperature-wise, we're at 71 degrees, relative humidity 82%, easterly winds at 15 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,019.0 millibars. That is 30.09 inches, and the pressure is steady. Now, your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 71 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Tulkey and Abaco. Marja, Babaco, a little cooler at 69 degrees. The Berry Island, 73. Alistan, Bimini, 77. Harbor Island, they got 71 degrees. There's 70 in Roxanne, Eleuthera. Fresh Creek, Central Andros at 73 degrees. Kemp Space on Andros and Black Point, Exuma at 74. Alistan, Cat Island, 71. Also San Salvador and Rumkey reporting 71 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 73. Those 73s extend through Ragged Island, Clarence, San Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matthew Tiny Nagua, 77. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, Vital King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands, easterly winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. Now, your low tide, that will occur at 8:35 tonight. And for the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds as well, not as strong, 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now, tomorrow, there will be a significant increase in those winds in the northwestern islands, becoming southeast at 15 to 25 knots. Very rough sea conditions tomorrow, 5 to 8 feet over the ocean, so advisories are in place for boaters tomorrow. Low tide, that will take place at 9:35 in the morning with a high tide at 3:15 in the afternoon in the central and southeastern islands tomorrow. Southeast winds also increasing 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags go up for the central and southeastern islands tomorrow. And then on Sunday in the northwestern parts of our country, a frontal system will be approaching. Those winds become south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will occur at 10:32 in the morning with a high tide at 4:10 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, light and variable winds with flat seas. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Jolly gray, your boat needed bailing out. Yeah, that sailor man sound. Jolly gray, your boat needed bailing out. Yeah, the sailor man sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the rudder on your head. That's the sailor man sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the rudder on your head.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't. through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian. We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. With the government schools basketball season getting restarted yesterday following the Christmas holidays. Senior boys action at the D.W. Davis Gym. C.C. Sweeting Cobras in the blue, taking on the Iron Bailey Pacers. Cobras look to be in top form. They took control of this one in the second quarter behind a dominating defensive performance as they totally dismantled the Pacers, continuing to build their lead off the Pacers' turnovers. Cobras unrelenting on the attack. They eventually go into the easy 80-39 victory. Andrew Bethel and Tavari Roca leading C.C. Sweeting. They both had 15 points apiece. Cobras head coach Dashton Baker pleased with the squad's overall effort, adding that defense will be the key for their continued success for the rest of the season.
We had to come out here, execute, go over some things, and get them back in rhythm for the remainder of the season. In high school, if you play in defense, you have a chance to win every game, and that's the focus. Be defensive-minded, be tough, and be gritty.
How does this set you up the rest of the way you believe?
You just got to keep winning. That's all we have to do. Just keep winning, take care of what we can take care of, and let the chips fall where they lay.
Pacer coach Devon Miller saying that the holiday break taking his team out of rhythm as they look to regroup now from the lopsided loss.
Just a lapse. You know, the break may be good for some teams if you had an injured player or so, but we was rolling. Before the break, we was rolling. No excuse, I take all the blame. They wasn't ready to go. and we'll be ready to bounce back on Tuesday against CV.
University of the Bahamas men's basketball team ended 2023 with a loss at the hands of TMT Giants 69-62. They now sport a 2-3 record. They sit in third spot in their division. The squad is hoping to make a comeback in the second half of the season when they take on the Sunlight Stampers next week Friday at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Head coach Backus Rose said the team took full advantage of the Christmas break.
We're not taking any breaks during the Christmas season, but we're still practicing every day. We go, every day except Sunday. We run in while these guys are eating the turkey and ham and this stuff, and we can be in here in this gym. We have to fit and stay in fit.
Now, the University of the Bahamas men's soccer head coach Alex Thompson recently earned his B license from USA Soccer. To earn the license, Thompson had to demonstrate his mastery in game planning, as well as player production, player development, team performance analysis, among other skills. The program took him several months to complete, and he's now one of 2 Bahamian coaches with the designation. He says the impact is already being felt in UB's program.
The players appreciate the difference in my coaching. There's more put in and more thought put into their periodization, so that's keeping them fit year round and not overworking them in the sessions, and a lot more planning with their individual development and a lot more planning in the team's development. From an individual standpoint, it's a big accomplishment. It's something that I'm working towards. I'm really looking to do my pro license eventually. So this is just another step up. And if it was an equivalent to a soccer college degree, it would be like getting your bachelor's.
And that's it. To check on sports for you here on this Friday. Don't move a muscle. We have our Friday weather just ahead. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health because if it happened to him, surely it could happen to me. Then came the fear, the anxiety, and everything else in between. Facing your own mortality is very sobering. But for me, I decided right then to have a colonoscopy. And I'm glad I did.
Colon cancer is the 3rd most common cancer diagnosed in Bahamian men and women. Fortunately, almost all colon cancers are preventable. A colonoscopy or some other appropriate form of colon cancer screening is recommended for everyone over the age of 45. During a colonoscopy, we can detect and remove colon polyps that may grow and later become colon cancers. Don't wait until you develop symptoms, such as blood in your stool, abdominal pain, a significant change in your bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss. These may all be indications of a severe problem that requires immediate attention. If you're over the age of 45 or have any of those symptoms, talk to your doctor about the benefits of colon cancer screening today.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
here at the Dixon Hill Lighthouse on San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In our replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
Assessing whether or not you have a medical emergency is sometimes difficult in a crisis and could quite literally mean the difference between life and death. However, you should only access services at the emergency department if you're presenting with serious or life-threatening conditions. Here's a list of symptoms that require you to seek care at the emergency department. Chest pain, severe shortness of breath, numbness, tingling, and weakness, trauma with the possibility of fracture or internal bleeding, heavy bleeding, serious burns, unusual or severe headaches, poison or overdose, seizures, thoughts of suicide, severe pain to the body, severe allergic reactions, and loss of consciousness. If you feel that you or a loved one are experiencing a life-threatening medical emergency and that the condition will worsen on the way to the hospital, then call 919 and an emergency medical services provider will be dispatched to you. It is important to pay attention to the symptoms that indicate an emergency. It is also important to have a primary care physician who monitors your health. In a non-emergency situation, you should call or schedule a visit with your primary care physician or visit a clinic to be seen by a doctor. Remember, the best person to manage your health is you.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, taking a look at our satellite picture, we have some low-level clouds floating out throughout the 700 islands, but that will be short-lived as we have this frontal boundary now approaching the southeast United States that will continue pushing towards the south and east. It will get into the northwest Bahamas sometime on Sunday, and by Sunday afternoon, we expect it to push through, bringing with it an increased level of showers and possible thunderstorms as well. And behind that, we'll have a nice little cool down taking place again, reinforcing the nice cool temperatures that we have grown accustomed to over the past several days. A couple of showers still possible this evening. Otherwise, it's going to be partly cloudy and breezy this evening with your low temperature at 62 degrees. And then tomorrow, things will shape up like this. The clouds will begin building in the late afternoon and the evening part of the day. It's still breezy with a high temperature of 81 degrees. And your extended weather forecast looking like this. Showers come through on Sundays, isolated thunderstorms in the mix as well. That will hold right into Monday. Then we'll get some clearing on Tuesday with lots of sunshine returning to the forecast. But then come Wednesday, we have yet a second frontal system that will push through, and that will hang around through Thursday, and then we will see those temperatures sinking once again into the 60s. So some beautiful nights shaping up for us for the next several days, and those daytime temperatures slightly warming up into the low 80s. That's the highest it will get over the next 7 days. So that is considered a pretty nice weather conditions.
Pretty nice weather indeed, Basil. And finally in the news this evening, scores turning out for the premiere of the one-hour musical Junkanoo in Paradise, now showing at the Atlantis Theater. The stage play detailing the history of Junkanoo was composed by the Roots Junkanoo Group. Here's Desmond Saunders.
The soul-stirring one-hour Bahamian musical highlights the work of a local entertainer ordered to create music without the soul of the goatskin drum. He's forced to make a decision or be fired. An incredible journey filled with suspense and intrigue. The show's producer, Fred Ferguson.
We do have a rich cultural heritage, and I think sometimes we minimize it when we make it seem like Junkanoo or whatever is only positioned in a specific area, like Bay Street. Junkanoo is a story, it's a celebration, it's a historic celebration, so there are so many stories you can tell related to this. And so this is an opportunity for our visitors and locals alike to understand the whole history and the celebration of Junkanoo from a different perspective.
The all-Bahamian cast includes director Aaron Knowles, writer Patrice Francis, and musical director Sammy Starr. Senior Vice President, Government and Special Projects at Atlantis, Vaughn Roberts, says the play is a culmination of months of planning and was born out of an idea that he had with several leaders of the Roots Junkanoo Group.
Started as a really crazy idea of bringing Roots Junkanoo Group into the resort in a way that's sort of different from it's historically been presented. And we got Fred Ferguson, who's a brilliant musician and producer, to produce Junkanoo in Paradise. And he brought along a team of phenomenal Bahamian directors and choreographers, etc. And they created an amazing show with an all-Bahamian cast.
The musical drama runs 4 nights a week for the winter season, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 8 p.m., and has already been renewed for the summer season. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, among proud patrons.
To be able to tell a story of Junkanoo and what it means to us as a culture and how we can identify us as a people and using the spirit of the drum, it's a real true indication of who we are as Bahamians.
A most riveting musical that brings Bahamian culture to life on the stage. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks a lot, Desmond. Well, that does it for the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm LaDon Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.